All right, my friends, welcome to episode 65 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I'm Larry the Professor, and over there is Anthony.
The developer.
How's it going, man?
Going good. A couple days until Christmas.
Ooh, yeah.
Finish Solstice.
Nice.
And, recovering from all of that. Preparing to find if I get what type of games I get under the tree.
Yes. Just like when we were kids.
I'm sure there's going to be some.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's always a some.
So what?
Steam sale going on, which I'm holding out.
Until after Christmas?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's good. The sales go on until, what, 31st?
2nd.
Oh, okay. Oh, I need to log in and vote for the next game today. Shoot. Maybe I'll do that while we're talking. Before we get into the game part, and just to let people know, we're recording this before Christmas, like Anthony said, but we're going to release it Christmas night, basically. It'll be our regular Monday podcast, recording a little bit early so that we can do Christmas with our families. But I want
the magic of the internet, we
exactly.
can record now and release later.
Time traveling. Before we get into the meat of the episode, this will be our predictions podcast, and I'll get into what that means in a second. But I want to wrap back to your solstice party. What does a solstice party look like? What is that? I mean, I know what solstice is, but
for us, I wouldn't take it in any kind of zero religious capacity whatsoever. It is a tradition where originally it was just our family. It was just like, okay, it's the shortest day of the year, longest night. It's kind of a time of transition, like reflect on the year as a family. And we always give each other gifts that we make ourselves.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
But last year and this year, we've just started expanding it to just inviting friends over. And basically it is bring food, bring beverages, come early, and let's just hang out and celebrate the season.
Awesome.
So, yeah, that's basically all it is to us, and less about any kind of the commercial aspects of the season, and much more just about friends and family.
Right. Our party for that time of the season is we have an annual cookie exchange. I think maybe I talked about it with you before.
Yeah.
Everyone brings their cookies over and their recipes, and then we all vote on the best cookie. It's fun. We've done it 6 years in a row now, so it's coming together and just celebrating being together. We love those kind of parties. This year we made some special cookies before we all voted, and it was 2 big fat gingerbread men and 1 little gingerbread baby. Had my wife's name and my name, and then a little baby had 2017, and that's how we announced to our kids, and how I'm announcing to everyone now, that we are having a kid in 2017, our first kid, and we're super, super, super excited. So, cat's pretty much out of the bag. When this posts, our family will know, so it's fine to say it now.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So, it's fun. It really is. When you're not pounding your head against the wall.
Well, now we have something else coming. I'll be a dad just like you.
The best advice, phrase that I ever got was before I had my first, from, who was it? Ed Allard at PopCap. He specifically said, it's like, kids, it is harder than I ever thought it was going to be, but more rewarding than I ever thought it was going to be.
That's awesome. Well, and to be honest, when we think about, me specifically, thinking about being a parent and what that means and how do we do it, I always think about you and your wife and what you do and your routine and how you've done it, and it's definitely offers a template for us that it's not a bad place to start. So,
well, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
We try. I think the key part is it takes a lot of effort.
Yeah.
You have to be cognizant about raising your kids.
Yep.
It's super easy to just be like, we could just be like, go watch TV. Here, we're putting Pokemon on. Yeah, go for it. But we're choosing not to do that as much and try to be involved. And yeah, it takes work.
Right.
I just don't think everyone wants to put that kind of work in.
Yeah, and it's things that we see with parents around us, not like around us right now, like the people we have around us who are parents are really good parents, but kind of just in society in general, or just in my life, seeing people who kind of stumbled into having kids, and it's hard work, and sometimes they don't want to put the hard work in for a lot of reasons, not just because they,
Yeah.
there are lots of good reasons too.
You mentioned it there. They stumbled into it.
Exactly. And
that's probably a key thing. We actually chose to have kids.
Right.
We talked about it. We planned it. We're like, we're going to do this. And not everyone has that opportunity, and things happen. But I'm sure I think about this, and I'm like, man, this would have been so hard if I hadn't thought this through.
Yeah, we feel very lucky that we were able to plan it. We've been married for 12 years, almost 13, and we've just now decided to take that step. So, we're into the second trimester now, so we're well on our way. Everything seems healthy and fine, and just I can't explain. I mean, but how excited I am. It's ridiculous.
It is. It's again, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I've known for a bit, but
yeah.
It's cool that you're telling everyone now.
Yeah, it's really
at that point where you can actually share it and confidently share it.
That's right. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it'll be a lot of hard work, but we're very happy and very proud. So this episode is our prediction episode. We are going to go over the 3 predictions we each had for 2016, see how right or wrong we were. We'll go one for me, one for you, back and forth, just like we did for the Game of the Year. And then we will make 3 predictions each for 2017. Again, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then we will finish with 3 games we are hotly anticipating for 2017. Before we get into all that, I do want to state one thing that I forgot last episode. Last episode, we talked about the games we were most disappointed in. We mentioned things like Mutants in Manhattan and No Man's Sky. I didn't mention Star Fox Wii U. I really, really, really should have. So I just want to throw that out there. That was terrible.
An addendum to disappointments.
Exactly. That's a footnote. That's a little asterisk for last episode. So if you didn't listen to last episode, go back and check out our games of the year. We posted a little graphic to Naughty Dog telling them about how we picked Uncharted 4 for our game of the year. So check that out. But right now, the predictions. Last year, your second episode ever, when we were still Professor Plays Games, you made 3 predictions. I made 3 predictions.
3 awful predictions.
Yours were a little general.
Yes.
I predict there will be video games next year, and you were right. It wasn't
not that general.
I know. Oh, so your first prediction was that there would be fewer third-party exclusives.
Yeah, I guess we have seen that.
I think you were right. I think Tomb Raider was 2015. What third-party exclusives did we see in 2016?
2016 third-party. I mean, it's all... I'm trying to think of what, in a weird way, what did Sony pay to be exclusive?
I mean, they paid for exclusive DLC maps, Destiny content, COD content.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing exclusive straight up games. If their exclusive games are their in-house. Did Microsoft pay for? I didn't.
Well, Phil Spencer talked about how he wanted to have fewer after the whole
So I guess it's true. I mean, they're just what the studios have decided to do, or the platform holders have decided to do, is to just pay for that extra content,
right?
And not the actual. Which makes sense. It's just really expensive to be exclusive, and it's probably cost Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo just too much money for it now.
Yeah.
So, and really is the new exclusives that I feel now is you will see it on one of the platforms, but also almost always PC.
Right.
So yeah, too general, but I kind of do feel like that trend has continued, and I guess once Nintendo gets back into this, we'll probably see some more exclusive.
Right, but your prediction was specifically about third-party exclusives. So I'm thinking about things. I'm racking my brain thinking of exclusives this year that were third-party. Something like Inside. So Inside was an exclusive for Microsoft for a month, and then it came to
you
PS4.
Get the time stuff.
Exactly. So I think the time ones count because the Rise of the Tomb Raider was timed. It was a year. So the third-party exclusive was, I think, in the VR spaces where we saw most of them this year that I can think of. Super Hot, I think, is a VR exclusive for Oculus Touch, I believe. Batman VR is exclusive to PSVR.
Yeah.
And there are things like that. And then there was Inside. There was, yeah, I can't think of too many, to be honest.
I mean, technically, No Man's Sky right now, because they haven't announced it for.
That's right.
Xbox. I mean, Sony did publish, so I doubt it's ever going to go to Xbox. But
yeah,
but it's also on PC.
Right. So I guess what I took your prediction to be was that we're talking about console exclusive. Like let's get rid of PC for a second. Like I think No Man's Sky does count. That's a console exclusive, but it's a third party. Yeah, but there weren't too many, and I don't know if there were if there were more last year or not. So I'm going to give you half a point for that one because I think you were kind of right. My first prediction from last year, mine were all pretty darn specific. I said that the NX would come out at E3. It would be revealed at E3. It would have a fall 2017 release, and the Galaxy / Metroid games would be launch titles. Obviously, it didn't come out at E3. I do get points for it being a 2017 release, but I said fall, and I was totally wrong about that. So I'm going to give myself a 1/6 of a point for the 17. And then I said Galaxy Metroid launch titles. We have no idea, so I can't get any points for that.
Not yet. Maybe you'll learn about that in June. Or not June.
January.
January.
Yeah, hopefully. January 12th.
Couple weeks. So you can give yourself a 1/6 of a point plus maybe a bit more in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to cut it off for this episode because there's no way that we can know in the future. So after round one, you've got half a point and I've got a 1/6 of a point. And I think I'll be adding fractions later tonight, so that's fun. Yeah. So your next prediction was that there would be more remasters in 2016 because of the popularity of remasters in 2015.
Oh my god.
So what do you think about that?
I think that is totally true. I think we're hitting peak remaster. Do you agree?
I do. I think that
I thought last year it was going to increase. I just think next year is going to be even more insane.
But this year compared to last year for the prediction, like Ezio Collection came out this year, BioShock Collection came out this year, Skyrim came out this year.
Tons of ones I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. Return to Arkham came out this year.
Yeah. Technically, the first Modern Warfare, even though you can't really buy it.
That's right.
Like everywhere. Clearly, these studios, the publishers are like, we can just rake more money in.
Yep.
And some are better than others.
Yeah. And the one that I'm hoping for one day didn't come out, and that's Mass Effect Remaster. I don't know if that ever will.
Maybe.
But, from...
I have to believe it probably will. EA's just been somewhat of a holdout to the remaster.
Right.
What did they... Have they put out a big remaster of anything? No. I know that was part of their thing, was that they didn't want to do them.
Right, and I don't think they have. I can't think of any.
It's just... I figure it's going to happen at some point. It's just money on the table.
Yeah.
And it's cheap for them to remaster those, or just at least up-res them and port them.
Yeah, and that's the one that people are just frothing at the mouth for. Yeah. So you're going to get a full point for that one because you were right, and I think it was a general one, but it was, you were just like so right on that one. And thinking, casting forward next year, we've got the burn just from PSX, like the Crash Bandicoot, the Burnout remasters. There are more coming down the pipe.
The Wipeout remaster.
The Wipeout remaster. Oh yeah, not Burnout, Wipeout.
Wipeout. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like Burnout too. Holy crap.
No, I meant Wipeout. Sorry, I got my wrong out.
Those are the ones I can think off the top of my head. I'm sure there are more.
Yeah.
Oh, you got the last year you got the Uncharted remasters.
Oh, that's true. There were the Uncharted remasters. Did those come out in 15? Yeah, they did. That's right.
Did they come out in 15 or 16?
They came out in 15 because
end of the year. They were
that's right.
Christmas time.
It was like the holiday time.
Yeah.
Because I picked them up. They were in the bundle, so I was able to pick it up for pretty cheap online.
Right. They were filling in the gap for the holiday season last year.
Right. For me, so you got 1 point there, so you're at 1.5 right now. My second prediction, I fucking nailed, and I was pretty specific. I said at E3, Xbox would release an Xbox One Slim edition. It would be a fall release, and it would be like a relaunch of the system. And the Xbox One S is basically that.
Oh yeah.
I know that the Scorpio coming out next year is a little different, but this was absolutely it was announced at E3. It's a slim version, basically. It's smaller, fall release, and it was basically key to relaunch the system. So that is absolutely 1 point. And I keep thinking about like that plus the PS4 Pro. Now that I have a 4K TV, like they were so cheap this holiday season. I was so close so many times because I was thinking like this is the time to like trade in the OG systems when they probably would be worth the most money to put toward the new ones, but I ultimately didn't bite.
Yeah, and it makes sense. One thing you can say is that if they've been this cheap already, they'll be this cheap again.
Right.
If not cheaper.
So. Exactly. Yeah, I figure if I can wait on. I mean, it depends on what the Switch does. And also baby coming, thinking about saving money for that and stuff. So I really have to be careful about what I buy. So I'm at 1.167. You're at 1.5. So I'm just slightly behind you. Your last prediction from last year was 2016 will be the year of open world everything. And I don't know what you meant, and I don't know if you're right.
I basically remember it's just like you will see more games just push this, even if they don't need to, add open world and use it as more of a buzzword than anything. I would say, actually, I don't know if I'm... At most, I'd probably give myself half a point on that. Like, I think there's more of it, but it hasn't, to me, in my idea, it hasn't been pushed as far as I thought it would go.
Right.
It's in the games that you typically expect, but I would say Uncharted 4 pushed it farther.
Yeah.
Like a bit, like into it.
Right, that's the idea. That's the game that kind of popped into my head, that it incorporated a little bit of that, but when they were talking about it, they were like, it's not open world, but there's like a little bit more exploration you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Half a point. So you actually scored 2 out of 3 points for last year, which is pretty damn rad for the first year. I want to double back real quick to the third-party exclusives. Recore was another one. Recore was a Armature Studios.
Yeah.
And then you think about the smaller indie titles like Stories, Path of Destinies isn't on Xbox One, and Dead Star was another one that was PS Plus title that didn't come out to Xbox. Yeah. So things like that. But anyway, you got 2 points for your predictions, which is pretty rad. My last one, this is where we're going to see what you think. What I said was that PSVR was going to be a hit and that it would be hard to find due to scarcity.
So, is it hard to find due to scarcity? Can I go to Amazon and get it right now?
So, I went to Best Buy looking for it. When I saw this prediction, I was going to Best Buy to buy a game, Uncharted 4, which was rad. That was so cheap. And I couldn't find them anywhere.
Nope, you can't find them on Amazon either.
Yeah, so I think it's hard to find.
Scarcity, true. So half a point for sure.
Okay. So the
first part.
Exactly. So I don't think I get half a point for it because I don't think it's a hit like mainstream hit, but it's the best-selling it's the best-selling VR unit.
Yes. Because I just still don't think VR is a hit.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I really don't. It's the best VR unit, but it's not. I don't think it's a hit either. So I'm just gonna give myself half a point for that.
So that puts you.
I'm at 1.667, and you're at 2. So you bested me this year.
I will be much more specific this time.
So those are our predictions from 2016. We saw how we were actually pretty close. Even though, yours were general, but you had specific things you were trying to hit. And then let's move into our predictions for 2017 in the gaming landscape. I'll have you go first with your first one.
Specific. The Switch will be the best-selling console next year.
Wow.
If they can keep it in stock. That's the only caveat.
Right. with
If they
Nintendo's
can't keep
forced scarcity.
this scarcity in stock, then no way. But
Okay.
if they can keep units on shelves, it will be the best-selling console next year, in my opinion.
Okay. And that's going to... What's its competition that's new next year? The Scorpio?
Scorpio. And then just the general incredibly good sales numbers of
PS4. Yeah.
PS4.
Right,
like,
right.
I look at those, I'm like, it's anything new coming out, that's still a pretty big hurdle. But
Yeah.
I think the Switch can do it.
I hope you're right.
It'd be nice. Maybe I just want it to be right.
Yeah, I do
but
too.
I feel like it at least has Nintendo is putting their best foot forward in a lot of ways.
I mean, I guess we'll find out in January, but it seems like they're trying.
Yeah.
You've seen some of the Eurogamer rumors about the power of the
Yeah,
GPU.
I'll be interested in that. It wouldn't surprise me if it runs slower off power, because that's how you conserve battery.
That's right.
But I'm very curious to see what that actually will be. And like whenever they were doing the over the shoulder on Jimmy Fallon playing it, you like the Zelda, you couldn't. Even if it was running at lower power, I couldn't tell. Frame rate didn't seem to take a hit.
Right.
So I'll be, like I said, interested to see what comes out of that and what the nitty gritty details are.
Okay. My first prediction is also about the Switch, and I hope mine's wrong. My prediction has a couple parts here. I guess I'm trying to piece this out so I can get partial credit. But I said the Nintendo Switch will not be as powerful as gamers hope. What I mean by that is I think we're hoping, or gamers in general that I've read online are hoping that it's at PS4 level or even Xbox One level when it's docked. And I don't think it's going to be.
No, I don't think so.
Based
on I can already tell you, based on the graphics GPU that's in there,
right?
The Tegra X 1.5 or whatever,
right?
There's no way.
Okay. Yeah, people are hoping that that's not correct, but I agree with you. I think that's going to be correct. Part B, the online infrastructure will not be on par with PSN or Xbox Live. C, it will not have a unified account system, so that if someone steals your Switch, you lose.
Please be wrong.
you lose it on the bus, right? And then all your games are gone. They will not have figured that out. And I think that it will sell less than 10 million units in 2017. Fewer than 10 million units. Yep. That's my Switch prediction. That's pretty specific.
Okay.
And for me, I'm not sure if 10 million units in 1 year for the Switch is good or bad. I feel like it's probably good because the Wii U sold only 13 over a couple of years.
What did the PS4 do?
In the first
launch year?
Ooh, good question. Let me get the fact-checking squad on this real fast. PS4. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, they're at 50 million as of now.
Right. I'm trying to figure out what that first year was.
What was that? 2014?
Yeah, 2014. Oh, here we go. As of February, August, end of 2014, it sold 14.4.
Okay.
So
10 million's a reasonable place to put it. I think that still goes back to, will Nintendo actually have that many consoles available to sell in a year?
No, they're so. You read about the NES Classic, right? Where they sold, they underestimated, of course, like they always do. But did you see how many they actually sold?
No.
200,000. So they expected to sell 200,000 or less.
Okay.
Fewer of that console. So they just wildly underestimated the Classic.
They really did there.
Really just effed it up. And you know what's happening now this holiday season? The most sought after gaming thing that people can't get?
No.
3DS.
Oh, I did. I was in Target and I did notice that all the 3DSs were gone.
Yep,
it was just empty.
People are trying to get 3DSs for Pokemon Sun and Moon, and people can't. Their stores are getting like 2 every 2 weeks, getting 2 units.
Whoa.
Yeah, they just, at least for the demand, the demand for the 3DS is outstripping the supply in the U.S., which is crazy considering how old that system is.
Yeah.
But Pokemon, they should have known. I think.
I mean, they could have known, but I bet they also just track how sales typically go.
Yeah, right.
This isn't the first time a Pokemon game's come out for the 3DS, so
But it's the first time after
kind
Pokemon
of shocked
Go.
that, like, that's true. That is the key point. But I don't think anyone expected Pokemon Go to be as successful as it was.
Right. I just wish they'd have a little more faith in the things they're doing. But so that's my prediction for the Switch. I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. We'll see. What's your second prediction for 2017?
This will be the end of console generations.
Whoa.
I feel like the Pro is selling well enough, and Scorpio probably will sell fine, that you're not going to see... Sure, you'll see something called a PlayStation 5 eventually, but it's not going to be like... It's just going to be an upgrade to the Pro, basically.
And will it be...
Every 2 to 3 years now, you're just going to see a new hardware.
But backwards compatible?
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to ship... It's going to be that phone.
Right.
The Pro, I think the Pro's selling well enough to prove that you can do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to... Part of my prediction, I guess, is that the Scorpio will just do just fine as well.
Yeah.
And this is it. That's it. Like, they're all PCs now. So...
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Have fun, developers. There's going to be lots of versions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thing. We're done. 2017 is the death of the console generation.
I'm with you until we get to the Nintendo part of that conversation.
I guess Nintendo can try to stick with that.
Yeah, I wonder what they would do. Well,
I mean,
if the Switch
they can do generations if they want. But
yeah.
I just don't think Microsoft and Sony are going to do it anymore.
Right. Well, and for Nintendo, like if the Switch bombs, they're done. I think they're out of hardware.
I would agree.
Yeah. So my second prediction, and I think this is maybe more wishful thinking, but we'll see. And I have some different language for this, but I'll tell you what I think my prediction is, and I'll tell you what my alternate one was. I think Horizon Zero Dawn will win more Game of the Year awards than any other game in 2017. And originally I wrote, instead of any other game, I wrote any other new IP, but I decided to be bold, and I think it's going to win more than any other game, and that includes Mass Effect Andromeda. So
shots fired,
and that's I'm sticking to them. I mean, I saw it. It was beautiful. It's what people want. I think Sony has such a huge, the console exclusive component of it, plus how many PS4s are out in the wild. I know obviously Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be on more than just PS4, of course, but I'm not talking about sales. I'm talking about Game of the Year awards.
Yeah. That's bold.
Try to be bold. That's my middle name, Mr. Bold.
No, it's not.
That's true. It's not. So what's your third prediction?
My third is, this is VR related, that PlayStation VR will get the killer app for VR this year.
Oh shit.
It will happen, and it will happen on Sony's platform. And by this time next year, there will be, where you said you can't tell if it's successful, it will be successful because there will be this app that everyone wants to play, this game that everyone wants to use. I kind of feel like it's for me on PlayStation 2, I always think of GTA 3.
Right.
Was the thing that I know everyone bought PS2s for.
Right.
Final Fantasy 7 for PS1s. And
what's the killer app for PS4?
So I was talking to someone about this. I know more people that bought a PS4 for Bloodborne than any other game.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Exclusive. They couldn't get anywhere else, and they wanted to play that game. And I have at least a half dozen. They're all developer friends and stuff that got a PS4 just for that game.
Dang. Wanted their souls fixed.
Kind of, yeah. It had crazy word of mouth too.
Oh man, and people are still talking about it. I tried. I swear to God, I tried. Our mutual friend Travis I mean, he's played Destiny the most, but Bloodborne is his second.
Yeah. Oh, one of the guys I know, he platinumed Bloodborne.
Good God.
Yeah.
That's a feat.
It is. I was like, holy crap. I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to my mind as the like, you own this console because of that.
Right.
What other games were really did I play?
I mean, I think, I guess Uncharted 4 is not it. Although, if you've been along the ride for Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, you would buy the PS4 for a bunch of other stuff too, but that's in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, Uncharted 4 definitely, if people hadn't jumped in by that point,
right,
was probably a good one that'll push people on board. I'm trying to think of the games that I just get lost in. I feel like a lot of people got a PS4 for Destiny, even though you didn't need the PS4 for Destiny. You could play it on other things, but...
Oh, and that's the reason why, I mean, I bought a PS4 because I obviously talked to you about what I wanted to get another console, but I jumped in at Destiny because it just looked so rad. I mean, it's a fun game, whatever. But
yeah, I mean, that's the thing, and it looked really good on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I knew everyone was playing.
Right. And
yeah, I mean, all the co-marketing worked for that game.
Yeah, it sure did.
So, but my thing is, yes, VR gets its killer app.
Killer app,
and
all right.
I guess if it doesn't, I don't think VR is going anywhere for a while.
Yeah, I agree. Cool. So your 3 predictions are quite specific. Awesome. My last prediction is that Microsoft will have its own PSX-like event in the U.S., and it will be something to kind of launch into the Scorpio. And I think that it will be the first of like a yearly kind of conference, sometime summer-ish.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that. Here in Seattle, they do a yearly like developer, like middle of the week, couple days, try to like excite developers.
Yeah, it's like the
their hardware and stuff.
Xbox
So I feel like it could just roll that to be a public thing.
Right.
Yeah. The what'd you call it again?
I think it's the ID at Xbox, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's at the Washington State Convention Center every year.
Yeah, so I think something like PSX, but that size, I think is what I'm expecting to see.
I think they are big enough that they could do it. They probably should do it.
I think something that some people are saying the reason why they wouldn't do it is that Microsoft doesn't have as many second-party studios as Sony, because Sony can kind of fill in E3 and Tokyo Game Show and a PSX event with, not showing the same thing over and over again because they have so many second-party studios. And I wonder.
And you know what I would say about that? And if Microsoft can't do one couple-day event and show off stuff, then they have a problem.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not a small company. They can. That should not be an issue for a major, highly selling console.
Right.
Currently, they should be able to show off plenty of games from first, second, and third parties.
Right. Yeah, you're right. So we'll see in 2017. I hope so, because PSX is just fun. It's rad. So those are our predictions. We will come back next year and let you know if we are right or wrong. But I'll keep track of these on this piece of paper, and I won't lose it, and we'll see what happens. Next, we're going to get into the 3 games we are each looking forward to from 2017. I would bet $100 our 3 games are the exact same 3 games.
Really? But I at least know 2 are going to be exactly the same. And then I was having a hard time coming up with the third. That like, there's a lot that actually could fill that third spot for me.
I think we'll see. We'll see what we do. But let's go with you first. Let's start with your number 3, your third most hotly anticipated. If you even can rank them. Yeah.
I can't really rank them.
Okay, then just give me one.
Let's go with the obvious one, Andromeda.
All right.
How can I not be excited for this game? I love that entire series. I love the universe. I love everything that they've shown on this new game.
God, it looks so beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Oh my God,
Frostbite
is so
an incredibly beautiful engine, and just give me more BioWare style storytelling.
Yep.
And a completely new story in this universe.
I'm with you.
I can't. I'm very excited for the spring more than anything.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be, if nothing pushes, this spring's going to be rad.
Yeah.
Which is great because it's before I have a baby, so I can play some of these games.
That's true.
For me, it's also Mass Effect Andromeda, and I just have you and my friend Brad to thank for like holding my feet to the fire and making me play that this year. Just one of the best game series ever. Like, it's just the storytelling, the characters, the gameplay, and I just played the vanilla games, the base games. I didn't touch any of the DLC at all.
That's sad, actually.
I know, because I heard the DLC is really good.
The DLC, most of it's really good. 2, Lair of the Shadow Broker was really good.
Yeah, I am holding out for the remaster collection. And if it doesn't come in 2017, I'll just go back and play them.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it because I'm excited to see them do something different. I thought Shepard was cool, but I really like the idea in Andromeda of you starting with people who aren't famous yet, or who in that universe. So you're kind of starting from a blank template, and that the male and female options are 2 different people, brothers and whatever, brother and sister, but it's not the male female version of the same person. So it's I think they've learned a lot from the trilogy, of course, but I was listening to a podcast where they also talked about how they learned a lot from what they did with Dragon Age Inquisition, and also what they saw people liked in this little game called The Witcher.
Yep.
So that makes me that gives me a gamer boner, pretty hardcore.
BioWare's been a company that always looks to their other games and competition to see what's working and what's not, and incorporating that into their future games. I think that's why they've been around for so long and been successful for so long.
Right. That just makes me so excited. And I'm on PC. I'm playing that on PC, but I'm in from day one. That is certainly a day one game I want to play with people. Yes. I want to have those experiences, and I want us to talk, about the game as we're playing it. I'm not going to wait.
Nope. We're just going to go.
Yep, exactly. So that's both of us. That's one of our games, and it's the same. So far, I'm right.
Actually, you probably got all 3.
All right. What's honestly. Number 2? What's the next most obvious?
Next most obvious? Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
It's a Zelda game, finally, at least from what it looks like, doing something different. And we talk about open world, but there are so many little differences when you watch the gameplay. Cooking to regain hearts, the ability to start fires and interact with the environment, climbing. What else is in there? Different weapons with tons of different weapons with stats and abilities, and Zelda as a true RPG this time, I guess. So everything I've seen, I've wanted the Zelda to do something different for quite a while. I was getting burnout with, honestly, ever since Twilight Princess. I did like A Link Between Worlds on 3DS. I think it did a lot of really good design choices and removed a lot of the boring beginning part that had been building into Zelda and just letting you go, explore, figure it out. And it feels like Breath of the Wild is doing the same thing. I think from the opening that they've shown is you're just going to wake up. And it's up to you to figure out what's happened in the world, maybe.
Yep. Kind of build the story in yourself.
Yeah, and there is clearly a story that's happened and something you'll have to do, but it's going to be a portion of the game is going to be this big mystery of what has happened to Hyrule? What is going on?
Real talk, A Link Between Worlds was the first Zelda game I ever beat.
Nice.
Oh my god! As soon as I picked it up, I loved it. I couldn't stop. And that hasn't happened with a Zelda game before.
It's a good one. It was really good.
It's so good. So it made me want to go back and play Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds, Link to the Past.
Also really good.
Yeah. Okay, my next game is also Breath of the Wild. I'm excited about it because the things that you mentioned, it just seems like a more of a living, breathing world. That's not just this choreographed sequence of temples, and it's got it looks like it has just some energy to it, some life to it that I haven't seen, frankly, from Nintendo games in a while. And I really want, kind of is also tied into the portability of the Switch, where I can play it at home and then take it off and go somewhere else and play on the bus or the train or whatever.
This game is going to be awesome for having a kid.
Because of the Switch?
The Switch, you'll just be able to be like, yep, kids in the carrier.
No, that's
I'm walking, they're sleeping, you just hold the Switch in front of you as you just kind of walk around. And
right.
Yeah, that's going to be a godsend, honestly.
And it's honestly the reason why I decided to invest in the Switch as opposed to, as soon as I knew that we were thinking about having kids, like PSVR was off my radar because I don't want to have that thing strapped to my head with my kids around. Like, no way. I don't want to be away. I don't want that at all.
Yeah.
Even if there was a killer app, I'm not in on VR for that reason. But the Switch, like same thing with my 3DS or my Vita, like I can play it while my kid's sleeping in my arms or whatever. It's something that I can pick up, put down. That makes it easy. But Breath of the Wild just it looks good. I think that Nintendo's learned. I hope it sounds like they've learned from kind of some Western open world RPGs and what they've been doing and kind of put the Nintendo twist on that. And I'm still hoping for a female playable character. I don't know if that's a flight of fancy of mine, but
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think they're just they'll just partially just continue this franchise as that.
Yeah. And that's fine.
And I wonder if they'll do something else that isn't actually called Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
It could be set in the world, could be set in Hyrule, but just be like Legend of Link, and you play as Zelda.
As Zelda, that'd be rad. And I said that'd be okay, but actually, I really do. For like the female gamers growing up, they want to see characters they can relate to, and it's not always a guy. They should be able to play as a girl too. So I don't know. I hope to see it. But Breath of the Wild is my next one. Most anticipated game.
And I bet you can guess number one.
Well, it probably is the same as mine.
It probably starts with an H.
It starts with an H. We have the exact same fucking list.
And ends with Horizon.
Yeah. That's right. We have the same list. I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more anticipated for that game only because new IP.
Yep.
From a studio that makes... They haven't made the best first-person shooters overall, but they're always gorgeous, and they play really well. So, them finally and Guerrilla having freedom again to just try something crazy new, and clearly it looks like they've been given the time.
Right.
What has been 2 years since the first trailer?
Oh my god, has it been that long?
I think it has.
Was that E3 to 2014 or 2015?
Maybe it's been a year and a half.
I thought it was 20.
I think it was 2015. Yeah, it was June 2015. So it's going to be like, by the time it's out, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Since it was ever shown publicly. And
when
even when it's first shown publicly, it looked really good.
Well, and when it was shown at E3, like that was everyone's most anticipated game. Like this new thing that no one knew anything about. It's just like, that is the game we want to play.
Yeah, and then they just showed the stuff from 2016 E3 where it was actually like, let's show you more of the actual gameplay. Like,
right.
Running through the world, riding different robots, like kind of the quest type system and the crafting a little bit, so you could actually see that there's something deeper going on there.
Well, I was lucky enough to see it at PSX. It was running on a Pro on a 4K TV, so it looked really good. But he had on his controller, you could turn it all off. He turned off HDR, turned off 4K, and it still looked amazing. Like the difference was not for me enough to buy like a $400 console, but there was a difference. But he was saying that each like robot dinosaur thing that you ride, like each one has a different ability, like they are differentiated. So if you're looking for one dinosaur, for lack of a better term, to do something specific, you have to go find it. And each one does something different. So it really adds some depth there too. It's just not just about hitching a ride, but they actually do stuff for you. Just the promise of, first of all, dinosaurs. Like, I'm sold. If they're dinosaurs, I'm there. The female protagonist I really like. I love playing as female protagonists in games. And just the promise of that role playing, like to be in that kind of open environment and exploring. Like I don't know much about the game other than what I've seen, and I just want to get in there and I want to turn the HUD off and I just want to explore. And I haven't felt that way for a while.
Yeah.
Game. So that's my absolute number one, most anticipated. And then Andromeda's right close to that.
Yeah, I can't put an order to these games.
Yeah.
All I think of is spring and going, how little time I'm gonna have.
Well, and
these all come out within 2 months of each other.
We don't know the Breath of the Wild. I mean, technically we don't know Andromeda either, but we don't know Breath of the Wild for sure. I hope it's spring.
Horizon's February.
Horizon's February. Yep.
Andromeda's
the leak is
tentatively March, right?
March. Yep. The leak is March.
Okay. And let's be honest, Breath of the Wild is, unless something horrible is going on, will be a launch game. Or right around in there. So I can only imagine that would be April, May latest.
Yeah, I would say that it's April or May, and I think it's probably April. I think they're going to launch it in March with Mario and something else, and then April we've got Zelda. May we've got Metroid. I think they've been sitting on software for the Wii U. The Wii U has been a freaking graveyard because they've been sitting on those games. And they're going to launch them all on the Switch. Plus, you're going to get all the ports of Mario Kart, which is going to have more tracks and stuff like that, more characters, and same thing with Smash and Splatoon. So
yeah, within 3 to 4 months, you're going to have all these games.
That's right. And within 3 months, we're going to have what I can't imagine isn't going to one of those 3 games is going to be Game of the Year all over the place. And this is probably going to make my prediction wrong, but it's probably going to be Breath of the Wild. But I don't know.
Not necessarily.
Oh, those are all so good.
They're going to be good. It's going to be
embarrassment of riches again.
A little bit this year. It's kind of ridiculous.
2016 has been nuts. It has been like a golden year of gaming. I was looking at just a list of everything that came out this year, and it's just so much to play, so much good stuff, and even second tier stuff like Watch Dogs 2, for example, is still stunning. That game is captivating. And that's not on the top of my list.
So some of the other stuff that's coming out, whenever you talk about these 3 games are in the spring, supposedly. I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2 in the fall.
Nier Automata.
Nier Automata is spring. I mean, that's February, I believe, or no, March. Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Right.
Neo Gravity Rush 2. Persona 5, I know people are super excited about.
Right, Ni no Kuni.
Yep. God, this year's going to be painful on my wallet.
Yeah.
I will not be buying all these up front, but
no,
man.
You and I need to be smart about this. You buy something, I buy the other one, and then we swap. We need to think through this.
But the 3 that we just said, I want to own all those.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean those. I mean think to your second tier,
yes.
If we're buying on PS4,
the ones that you don't care about necessarily owning.
You buy some, I'll buy the others, and we'll swap.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah, looking forward to it. Just such a great time to be a gamer. I'm so glad to be back into this hobby, and obviously having a kid's going to cut down on my gaming time, but it's not going to go away. So.
It does. You shockingly find time for it, or it switches. The Switch, or you have your 3DS and Vita. I mean, you can do a lot of gaming there.
One-handed Mario run.
Yeah. I actually played a lot of phone games.
Right.
That was a lot of phone games, and then lots of reading on my phone.
That's right.
That became a huge thing. Also for my wife. She went through so many books at that point.
We'll see how I do with my commitment. I really don't want my kid to see me looking at a screen.
That's not a realistic thing.
We'll see.
It's almost impossible for it to be realistic. And you'll start looking at today, because we had a thing of trying to be we'll make sure that we're really cautious about screen time with our kids at all. And they're shit, there's screens everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You just can't avoid it. So it's very much a thing of let's just not push screens everywhere. But playing them when they're sleeping and stuff, man, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, no, I mean when they're awake.
When they're awake,
I just want them to see me, one kid, to see me reading a book, which includes a Kindle or whatever, more than they see me doing other things. So I want that to
and that's something, and I feel like we do that. Like, my wife reads a lot. They see me read books, even if they don't see me as much during the day. They always see my books on the couch or the coffee table.
That's right.
Like the following morning when they're like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, those are books I was reading last night."
Yeah.
And falling asleep too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's a goal I have. But there'll be lots of gaming, and so much to play. Those 3 games alone, like if someone told me you can't play anything else all year, just those 3 games, I'd be fine.
Yeah, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, it's rad. So before we get out of here, one quick question that I haven't prepared you for, but whatever.
Okay.
So Steam sale, winter sale is up. Is there anything that caught your eye?
There's a lot that has caught my eye. We'll see what I actually want to buy. So there's a game that I've had forever, not ever on my wish list, but once it came out, Planet Coaster.
Oh yeah, right.
I love the roller coaster tycoon games, and this is made by weirdly, it's the team that made Elite Dangerous.
Is it really?
So yeah,
okay.
Frontier. But the guy who made Elite Dangerous and Elite back in the day also made the roller coaster tycoon games.
Oh, okay.
Through the 90s and early 2000s. But they don't have the rights to call their game Roller Coaster Tycoon. So they call it Planet Coaster. But the reviews they're like, if you like the Roller Coasters Tycoons 1 and 2, you will love this game. And I love those games. I love building a theme park.
Wow. I learned something new about you.
I like sim games.
Yeah.
And this was just this type of sim game that was just great. And you could... I don't know. They're cute. They're entertaining games. But you can get really deep into like, okay, how much should I charge at the entrance? Where should I place bathrooms? Oh, my coaster is way too crooked and everyone's throwing up when they get off of it. And you have to make sure the janitor's there to clean that up or guests are really unhappy.
Oh my god, that's pretty deep.
It's super deep game. So that it's on a slight discount, but it only came out like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So
it was like 15 or 20, wasn't it? Percent?
Just a 15%.
Yeah.
But even that, I'm like, it has really, really good reviews. Other things, like my wish list was basically my entire wish list is on sale.
Yeah, mine
it
too.
Seems like. But like, what was on here that was? I was looking through Mankind Divided.
$20.
$20, and then I read it, and people are saying it doesn't actually, like, the story doesn't finish.
Oh. And
that, like, you would want the season pass because the story will finish through DLC.
Oh, that sucks.
And I'm like, oh god, because so many reviews are like, it's an amazing game, like it's great to play, and it just kind of ends.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't really want to buy a season pass to continue getting the story.
Yeah, you kind of want that finished in the base game, and then they add
So
to
I'm
it.
kind of wondering. I'm like, well, I just wait on that one until there's a collected edition.
Yeah.
And then just buy that.
Right.
So I
like
can at
the
least
director's
just play through
cut.
the whole story.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Be fine. Deserts of Karak, Homeworld Deserts of Karak.
Right.
I like the Homeworld games, and that one's down to $17. So that was a really good deal. Duskers, which is this weird indie game that you basically use command line to control drones going into like a ship graveyard, like
Whoa.
spaceship graveyard.
Oh yeah, I'm checking it out right now.
Yeah, I've heard. I have a couple friends that play this thing and love it.
That
So
looks fucking dense as hell.
yes, exactly.
Wow. And that's it's 25% off. Well, holy shit, that is not a game for me.
No, Inside's on there.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask you about that. Inside was I think 25% off.
30. It's down to $14. I'll probably.
Are you picking it up, or are you gonna wait?
I mean, I will likely pick it up before the end of the sale.
Oh, okay.
I'm not gonna buy anything until
Yeah.
Christmas night or the day after.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just to see, I might have Steam gift cards coming. Those are the big ones. There's what was on here? there was a VA11 Hall A, Valhalla.
Oh, yeah.
Cyberpunk bartender action.
Oh, Jesus. What?
What? Seriously?
Okay, that's a thing I learned.
It is a thing. Again, another one that I've heard really good things about. Yeah, there's other stuff that's like Shore Up, like Black Mesa.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that? The Half-Life 1 remake?
Right.
Is down to $8.
It's pretty good.
And I feel like that's an FPS I'd play again.
That was sanctioned by Valve, right? They're like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Enter the Gungeon is on sale.
Right.
I've been thinking of that.
I ended up getting that on GOG in the winter sale or the last summer sale or whatever. I should play that.
Yeah, there's a lot of smaller indie stuff. Kingdom, New Lands, the side-scrolly. I don't even know what it is. You play as a knight putting together a kingdom, but it's all left to right on a continued plane.
Ooh, oh, that's on my wish list. I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's on my wish list. Oh, yeah. I remember this.
It's down. That's one I've been watching for a long time. So, I mean, I usually use Steam sales to pick up a lot of indie stuff. That's just kind of been on my backlog of interesting things. Wow, Tron 2.0 is $2.50. That is a good FPS. Anyone can be out there. That is one of the better FPSs that came out in the 2000s.
What's it called? Tron 2.0?
Tron 2.0. It looks like Tron.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 250.
But as an FPS, it was actually a really good FPS that had a bunch of RPG elements in it that were never really marketed.
Huh.
But it's totally an RPG.
That's cool. So for me, the things that I've got on, like you too, wish list is totally full. But the things that I put in my cart, Papers, Please, which I've actually never played.
Oh, nice.
To go along with that, Orwell, which didn't get the, I thought that it'd have a price drop. Slay Away Camp, which you obviously know about. And then I put in episode 2 of World End Economica, which is basically it's a visual novel that I got in a Humble Bundle. And I started playing it, and I really liked it. So I just wishlisted the episode 2, which is usually like $13, and it's on sale for $3. So I'll probably grab that. And I'm eyeing Civ 6. My friend wants me to get Civ 6 so I can play along with him. But a 10% discount is not really enough, I don't think. Although I hear it's really good.
It is really good. Now I have 2 very, very hardcore Civ players since like the original Civ. And they were at my Solstice party, and I asked them about Civ 6. They prefer Civ 5.
Really?
They've played multiple games of Civ 6, and they're like, nope, we'll just play Civ 5.
Okay. Well, I got Civ 5, so I'll just keep that then.
It was weird, but these 2 people at the party, there's a third guy I work with who also played multiple games, and they all had the same complaint with it, which was you have to, one, as you improve your civilization in 6, while it adds up to being strong, the actual little decisions you're making along the way never feel that impactful.
Huh, okay.
So you don't get this sense of like really pushing your civilization forward. And because of how cities are built in 6, you have to, if you have an in-game goal you're going for, you have to like think about how you lay out your cities over thousands of years of the game.
Right.
So that you don't screw up where you can place like that wonder or that final piece that you need, because you have to place districts on the map in certain areas. And so certain ones have to border. You can only build them if they border certain other things. So it sounded like both of them had some games that went poorly because they got to that in game and they're like, oh, never mind, I can't win this game because I didn't plan, 6 hours ago.
Right, so that's all just
how I built my
trash,
city.
Right.
Yeah. So it's weird because it's a gorgeous game and it gets great reviews, but it's interesting for coming from people that are like longtime lovers of this series.
Yeah. Okay, that's good food for thought. Yeah, cool. So those are the thing. For PSN, sorry, I didn't mention the Hitman packages. So the episodes are back on sale for half off. So I'm going to jump in on those.
Wow.
God, that game's good. I should have mentioned as a contender for GOTY because I just didn't play enough of the episodes because they were too expensive. So now they're on half price. So anyway, lots of games to play. I'm still playing Watch Dogs 2 and Overwatch right now. But thanks for a great year of Prof and Dev play games. I'm looking forward to the new year and what we're going to do.
So am I.
Some Let's Plays and just lots more podcasts.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a great year.
Absolutely. Thanks to everyone for listening to us and for following along. And
Go
ahead, sorry.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2017? Jeez.
2017.
All right. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Later.